these devices. You put in a coin, and essentially it gives you a show, if you will. And after a certain amount of time, the image, the audio and visual will cut out, depending on how much money you put in the machine.
So basically, those helmets are for entertainment. It has auditorial and oculus sensory illusions, so you can have some entertainment. You put coin in, and it lets you enjoy for a while. Nothing big, but I can see why someone would be mad if their employee was slacking on the job.
It's essentially a toy.
Okay. So it's common, Siegfried. A lot of taverns have it, or just special taverns?
You know, that's not really what bothers me, though. What bothers me is all the talk from the counselor about all the other taverns being shut down and this being the only one left in the area now.
Well, we heard that it's because this one was so successful, it drove all the other taverns.
Well, it seems like he forced the taverns away. Is what I'm getting the vibe.
I just don't understand how he was so much more successful than all the others, though, since they're competing from the same market. Yeah, I didn't see exactly where you're going, but I don't want to make assumptions yet. That's why I'm going to ask around at the church first and see if they've heard anything about it.
What I'll say is, how many taverns do you know to pride itself in cheese such as this one does? Most taverns just are a tavern and offer nothing, and one are alike. This one is at least unique, which could easily draw more attention than a dungeon.
That is a very good point, Siegfried. And that may have a lot to do with it.
But why would the counselor come specifically to this tavern to tell him he cannot move his business?
Well, if
not shady stuff is going on.
If this is the powerhouse of the area for tavern, and this is where everyone comes from all the areas, then it would be very financially bad for it to leave the area. And it would, as they said, probably take a while to fill the factory.
That does make very good sense.
Wow, you all sound like really... Sorry.
No, go ahead, Sarah.
I was going to say you guys all sound like very wise economists.
I simply am at many taverns to perform, and I'm aware of how things can work. A very popular tavern can go down the drain if many more open up, if it's nothing special, but if one is really, really unique and pulls in the crowd, it can cause others to leave, and money has to go somewhere.
Yeah, don't always assume that we are wise. Just because I see the worst in everything doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right.
And I could be wrong, and it could be very sketchy business, or right and still have very sketchy business. I mean, taverns are known to be a bit underhanded at times.
Yeah. But I guess that's not a concern at the moment. Unless the counselor wants us to investigate.
Well,
where were we headed?
Our attention's known to him. He knows where to find us.
It's true.
So, we're meeting with your friend later on this evening, correct?
Yes. We are meeting a friend later on this evening.
During this time, Byron, I assume you've slipped off to Lydia's?
Yeah, I went over to drop off the meat.
Okay. She gave you a good browbeating and took the meat from you and reminded you casually that the rats are still infesting the cellar and to please fix her her sign. Pretty please.
Oh yeah. I told her I'll try to find the best poison to get rid of all the problems in the
We could give them Samael's underwear.
Why don't we just buy them a cat?
Oh, that's what I was planning on doing too.
That's genius.
Or a few cats. Multiple cats, and they can all have babies, and then you'll just have a whole herd of cats, and no more.
Yeah, but then he would have a whole herd of cats, which eats more than rats.
No, they can go somewhere.
Just
But,
figured one bobcat would be good.
Get an orange one. The orange ones are incredibly mean.
All right. Well, do you want to get some cats? And well, you know, Nicholas, we could even go see my brother. I mean, we were planning on going tomorrow, but I assume he's still at the house.
I mean, we did tell him tomorrow. I think tomorrow's a good time.
All right, all right.
But let me ask you guys this. Byron, you might know. How long would it take to get from here to the City of the Dead? And do we have time to go do that before this evening?
City of the Dead. Sorry, you don't know that. Is it nearby or is it in the city? Is it outside the city?
It is. The City of the Dead is just outside, northeast of the outer wall. It is centralized along the edge of lower north edge, middle north edge. The cliffs rise up to middle north edge. And of course you would know that there is a bridge that passes from middle north edge into the City of the Dead, and of course you could also reach it if you sky coach.
It's a couple hours by foot, unless you take a sky coach. But nobody goes there, and I don't know much about it. I've seen it a couple of times passing, but I don't pay that much attention.
Well, I have
What's
business.
going on in the town.
I have business there that could be potentially serious. The city, though, said they're going to have a guard go by and take a look at it and let us know something in the morning. Do we want to wait till the morning and find out what's going on? Because if things do turn out bad there, we need to be there. But I am willing to wait till tomorrow.
Well, getting some intel might actually help us in the long run. If we wait till tomorrow, I also could be almost an Inquisitor. And that could help as well.
Very well. We'll wait till the morning then.
What time is it about now?
Let's see. Right now it is about 10:45 a.m.
Oh, we got a long time.
We do.
Then, well, Siegfried, anything else you wanted to do in the city?
Well, I have heard of these things called electric guitars, and apparently it makes me think I've missed out on newer instruments, and eventually when we all have time, I'd like to look at some of these newer instruments just so I can kind of keep up with the times if I'm to re-enter the stage of being a bard.
Well,
And
is
by,
there any
and by
shop?
hearing about electric guitars, he means he heard about it from the DM. Siegfried, you haven't actually ever seen one of these devices?
I'm pretty sure as a bard in taverns, I've heard of it throughout, like, just a few of the things. Just
I'll
maybe
tell you
not the word electric guitar.
I tell you, make a history check. You have not heard of such devices.
Anytime you just tells you to make a roll to save.
Yeah, oh, if you ever ask me to roll on something, just automatically assume I've.
Well, okay, so we could go see the electric guitar. One other thing I didn't think I was going to do, but I could stop in the house of, well, the Temple of Dolahara. That's where I've been trained as a cleric under. I've stayed pretty connected in where I'm from, but, it could be useful, maybe gathering some intel about the City of the Dead.
Is Linda University near that?
What was that?
I was asking the DM, is Linda's University near that?
Actually, no. The area that you're referred to, Zai, is within the Sovereign Towers. It's actually right across the way from the Cathedral of the Cleansing Flame. It's back in the Middle Central Plateau. Linda is actually in Memphis Plateau. Within the University District.
Oh, well, how about this? Let's go to the University District, and on the way we'll shop for instruments. We'll kill some time, and then we'll meet with our friend later tonight.
Yeah, I'd say with a 3. He's heard of a new instrument. He just doesn't know the name of it.
Shall I hail the coach?
This is going to be your private coach now. I like it.
I'm gonna pull out the little the stone. And hello, we are in need of a coach.
You are greeted with silence for a few moments. And then the stone begins to warm in your hand. And you hear the familiar voice of Isvel. Oh, jeez. I thought you guys would never call. I've been flying around the lower Dura for nearly an hour now. I haven't seen any more of those goblins.
Well, that's good. Did the sky clear up?
Oh, it's still raining like crazy out there. And of course, it's been rain. You guys are standing in the middle of the street. I'm assuming you're all been soaking wet at this point.
Siegfried's been soaking wet for a while. He's also drooling again.
I've had my armor thoroughly re-annexed.
Zara's still wearing her multicolored raincoat.
At least we have common sense to walk, have something covering us to walk in the rain.
Isvel, there's a pause, and she says, "So I take it you still want to hire me for the rest of the day?"
Yes. If you can come pick us up, we'd love that.
I can do that. I'll be there as soon as I can. And it cuts out.
Don't forget to let him go on lunch break, too.
Alright, to shopping list, we need a cat, we need some poison, we need an electric guitar. Anything else?
Just a music store, not an electric guitar. I don't know what that is.
Oh, alright.
I may need a new viol.
And most of all, Byron needs to see his girl.
Oh, of course.
Oh, that'd be great.
In fact, I
Smile
really
comes on his
like
face.
I'd really like to meet this Linda. She seems quite nice, I don't know.
We
She's
should go see
nothing
her
like her
first.
Aren't we all thankful for that? And she kind of gives another one of those wistful smiles.
We could go see his girl first before my stuff. We already went to one of my locations, even if it didn't turn out well. It's fine. We can go to his first. I think we should.
Alright. Maybe you should get her like some flowers or something, Nicholas, a couple things. He's good at giving treats and flowers and chocolates and, especially if you haven't seen her.
Was is that something that that lady's like?
Of course. They love those kinds of things.
I'll have to stop by a flower shop.
Well, if you ever need any other relationship advice, Nicholas and I would be happy to give it to you.
I'm gonna put my hand on the Byron's shoulder. I got you covered, man. Just ask me anything.
I did, and you said you knew nothing. So, I understand.
Oh well. First order of business: always please the woman is what I was trying to get at. And usually the woman...
mother-in-law too.
Yeah, yes. When I say their mother is most important, especially right now as you're not married. That is why I was trying to help you. You didn't take my help.
And then after you get married, you can tell the old.
Oh no. They're close. They're very close. But I hope to be much closer.
Then you might be in a wrong relationship, my friend.
Well, thankfully, like.
About 10
so is
minutes
my
go by,
father.
and through the air above you, you see the familiar sight of Asvel's sky coach. And it begins lowering down into a non-crowded area, and you see her gesturing for you all to aboard it. Hello again. Welcome back.
Are we still not allowed to hang over the side or stick our arms out and wave them?
I mean, that's up to you. We've already encountered one calamity in the air. Why not go for a few more? Where are we headed?
To adventure.
Byron, where is your lady located? The University District?
Yes.
University District? Oh, good lord, that's up in the upper levels. That's upper
Yes,
Memphis. Upper
We
Memphis
are paying for
Plateau.
your time.
Well, I
Well,
see.
we're important people. Let's go.
I would advise you not to flash your weapons up there if I were you.
Of course not.
Well, if you all wish to go, I can take you there. Hop aboard.
We are
This
on
thing-
board.
This thing looks kind of like a boat, doesn't it?
It does.
Somehow it just sits on the side and flops in.
I assume each of you, one at a time, get into the sky coach.
Yep.
Okay. Asvel checks to make sure that you're all seated correctly, or standing, if you will, and the coach lifts into the air and begins heading southeast.
He didn't check very well. I'm currently laying on the floor with my feet up in the air, but I gave him a thumbs up.
If you could get us close to Moorgrave University, that would be wonderful.
Moorgrave University. Huh. Wow. Fancy.
Yes, only the best.
So, Byron, what is she studying?
Well, she's majoring in archaeology.
Ah, you got a good one there. Very nice.
Yes, I know.
And if I may ask, how did you guys meet?
Oh well, they've had that bake shop for quite a while, and I used to frequently pass by. I decided to stop in one day, and I saw this lovely lady. Yeah, 3 years later, we're here.
So, 3 years later, when are you going to pop the question?
When she's done school.
And how long is that?
When she tells me she's done.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I wish you the best. I can't wait to meet her.
Siegfried just like falls to the ground, covers his ear.
It's just lightning, Siegfried. It won't hurt you.
It will if it hits you.
It
You
just
hear
startled.
Asvel yelling from the back of it. That's not true.
Yeah, it will kill you.
But if it kills you, I would help you, unless it hits me.
The good news is that I'm wearing full armor. If anybody in this vehicle is a lightning rod, it's me. So it'll probably hit me before you.
Siegfried scoots away a bit from semi.
That's how I just grins big.
See, as I told you, it won't hurt you. It will hurt Samuel.
Yeah, yes, but if it hits that and starts a fire, damages the vehicle,
Oh no, no, my boots are leather. I'm well grounded. Only I would die.
I don't know if that's how it works, but well, if you say so.
Trust me, I've seen it happen before.
So, Siegfried, if I may, if I may not be too forward, but I've noticed that you have things you said about the cheese in the tavern. You seem to have a different. Is there a story?
I fatigue sometimes. A bit too much happens, and I just get overloaded. I trolls to a giant spider attacking where I happen to be going, and all these new people, and just trying to come back from being a bard all at once. It just kind of has overloaded me a bit overbearing on the mind.
That's fair. Well, if there's anything I can do, people trained quite at this point. See, I'm not sure that cheese is really going to do the trick.
You know, sometimes it doesn't hurt to it, and just only gains and gains. But really, anything, maybe just a relaxing vacation, really would help. Well, who am I to talk? I've been on a multi-year vacation.
Well, let's find that music store, and maybe that will help.
After we find Byron's lover, of course, then we can go there. No rush.
Is then how much longer?
Well, sorry, love. I couldn't hear you with all the wind and rain. I always should be there in a few minutes.
All right. And Zara's now just kind of looking over the landscape, seeing if she sees anything interesting.
You know, they clearly said they couldn't hear you, but then answered you immediately thereafter.
I've heard that sometimes it takes a moment to comprehend what you hear, so sometimes you hear it after it's being repeated or before it's finished.
You sure she's not lying to us? Maybe more goblins are about to show up.
Good roll an insight.
Here's another tip, Byron. When you're, talking to your new, well, I used to say girlfriend, sometimes they will think you're saying one thing and they're really saying another thing, and you really have to listen just like that. Otherwise, you will give a totally wrong reason.
Samuel, you're not sure. Your friend Siegfried could be right.
Oh well.
Siegfried, you know exactly.
Now that was very important. He's getting ready to kill her and throw her over the side. That was not a dumb incident. You just stopped a murder.
Oh my god.
So several minutes pass, and you find yourselves now in the cusp, the area just below and to the south of the floating skyway, the floating plateau above the districts, above Memphis, above Central Plateau. And you see the site of the tops of the towers now a mile up from the bottom of the ravine, far below. And Isvel very deftly guides you towards the central tower within the university district. And she says, "Here you go, Morgrave University."
Thank you, Isabel. And Zara steps up.
Thank you. We'll be needing you soon. Well, maybe an hour or two. But thank you. I guess maybe try to pick up some more people in the meantime as Nicholas steps off.
Oh, I'm gonna go up to the Skyway and have a drink.
Well, enjoy yourself.
Oh, Byron's walking quickly towards the university.
So, Byron, you see students carrying armloads of scrolls and books, and it looks like they're hustling and bustling about. A few you see sitting or standing in circles discussing different things.
I'll be looking around for Linda or any of her friends I might.
Make a perception check.
It's
It's the university.
You looking out, the university itself fills Delanan Tower, which composes the majority of Moorgrave University. And you see, of course, this as you were flying into the district, you saw the enormous dome of Lareth Hall, and you saw the spires that ring the tower. And you see where Esvel has rested you on top of Braylon Spire, which is also known as the Commons. It's an open-air plaza, and you can see all of the other neighboring towers in the lower reaches of the city. Vendors are wheeling their carts up, and it looks like they're opening up to vend their items to the different students. And you can already smell the familiar smells of Karnathi sausage and Talentan kebabs that are being cooked about 30 yards away from you. And you see a very familiar sight. You see a young man wearing blue robes that run all the way down to the ground. You can't even see his legs. And he is standing at one of the carts. Looks like he's purchasing a kebab. And as he turns around, you can see that this is, in fact, your girlfriend's best friend, Delarn.
Learn.
And as you call out to him, he turns around and he is already tearing into this kebab. He has it up to his mouth. And as soon as he sees you, he goes, "Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, it's you, Byron!" And
Is Linda around?
Linda, she's right over there. And he points out to the east a little further away. You see a circle of students all wearing different colored robes. And you see the familiar sight of your girlfriend. And she is sitting down on one of the benches. Her hair is pulled back into a bun. And she's very excitedly talking to several men and several women. And you see a large, hulking behemoth of a golem standing next to her, and he's carrying what looks like several scrolls in his arms. And he's very, very silently just standing there next to her.
I'll ride over in her direction, call out to her.
Okay. As you call out to her, you see your girlfriend sort of from the distance away from her. You see her cocking her head to the side and looking, and immediately her eyes go wide, and she leaps up and begins pushing through the crowd. And the golem sort of turns in your direction, and you can all hear like the of the feet as they reposition themselves on the marble floor. And she runs forward and she says, "Byron!" And she rushes towards you and leaps into your arms.
I'll give her a big hug and a light kiss.
She accepts your
So
kiss,
cute.
and she reciprocates with a kiss, several kisses of her own, and she is now